Hey all, Michael Lunsford here, Citizens for a New Louisiana. Today we're under the coronavirus protocol, which means we're not supposed to congregate in groups larger than, say, 10. The Baton Rouge is so freaked out about this that they actually canceled session. So they can't raise your taxes until they postponed it until March 31st. And, obviously as things change and progress, they may choose to move back further than that. But right now, they're not having meetings in Baton Rouge because they're freaked out about this coronavirus. Now, Lafayette Consolidated Government has, they're closing restaurants, they're closing hotels, they're closing movie theaters. All of this stuff is being closed because they don't want people congregating. Well, Lafayette Consolidated Government marches on. The City Council, the rules are for you small people. We're getting together tonight, and just so you know, the Joint Council by itself has 10 members. So you add in the clerk of council, the mayor president, the CFO, the CAO, you add in the assistant clerk, the assistant clerk, the city attorney, the parish attorney, and all these people. You're like 20 folks. You're in violation of what you're telling people not to do, but yeah, whatever. You small people, y'all follow the rules. The rules aren't for us. So on the agenda tonight, what's so pressing that they have to do this today and they can't put this off until they figure out what's going on with the coronavirus? Item number 17. Is apparently so pressing they need to introduce this ordinance, and basically, and it's right here. I don't know if you care to pause that and read it, but basically, a nutshell of this is they had spent $1.5 million in December in the general fund that they were giving to the Lafayette Bottle Art's lofts to help them with their construction project. Private enterprise, by the way. And so now they figured out, there's a fund that they can use. It is called the general fund contribution from the city general fund to the University Avenue Initiative. So the University Avenue Initiative is now going to pay for this project instead of the general fund paying for it. Fine. Okay, so what is the University Avenue Initiative? Well, I looked it up in the budget. Look at here. Page 305 in the budget. There it is. There is the University Avenue Initiative. There's $3 million in there. Where did that come from? Well, I go back. City Council meeting minutes from about September the 8th of 2016, ordinance number O-145-2016. Here's one of the attachments, and looky there. Joel Roboto, in his proposed budget, put the University Avenue Initiative together and gave it $3 million. Now, if that $3 million didn't go there, would it go someplace else? Maybe the general fund? I don't have to submit a public records request and wait 2 weeks for a reply, so I'll be back on that point. Now, the Lafayette Bottle Arts Loft loan, just as a reminder, and I'm not going to rehash the whole video, but here is the paperwork on that. If you want to pause that and read it, you're more than welcome to do so. But in the gist of this is there's going to be a loan. By the way, this loan is $1.5 million. It's 0% interest for 45 years. Now, the ability for them to pay it back is dependent upon 50% of available cash flow net of, meaning after they paid these other expenses. You ready? Operating expenses. So after they pay their own salaries, senior debt service to the first mortgage. Okay, so after they paid their first mortgage, reserve fund, a reserve fund. Okay, how much? It doesn't say. It could be $5 billion. We don't know how much the reserve fund is. Then the next people that are up for this are the annual payments to the second position, which is the Louisiana Housing Corporation. We shared that on the Citizens page the other day. There's an $8.1 million bond up to the Louisiana Bond Commission that was supposed to be March 19th, which is Thursday. Doubt that's going to happen. I think the Bond Commission has been canceled. But even so, $8.1 million. So after they built up their reserve fund, they're obligated to pay that back. And then finally, if they paid everything else back, they're going to pay us back at 0% interest over 45 years. As fate would have it, Ms. Stephanie Kornei showed up at the council meeting on February the 18th to express her undying desire for the University Gateway project to move forward without a vote of the people, a 1% sales tax in the district. Well, she self-identified in that meeting as the owner of the Lafayette Bottle Arts Lofts. And I checked it out on the Secretary of State's website. Her name doesn't appear, but for what it's worth, here's part of what she had to say. Check it out.
My name is Stephanie Kornei, and I am the proud owner of what will become the Lafayette Bottle Arts. We have a group. We are organized. We have had 3 meetings to discuss the university corridor. At one meeting alone, we had over 150 people show up. When this tax came up, when this actually came up, I sat quiet for a while and I thought about it. I read the law. I looked at all the things that come into play as far as this is concerned. And this changes everything because we feel like now that we are putting into the piggy bank and we will be able to sit at the table and discuss how our piggy bank will be spent. And there is a trust. You're talking about a trust, Mr. Nakia? There is a trust with our name on it, with our money in it. We have a plan. We have the opportunity, and we are willing to take the risk.
So Ms. Kornei wants to risk your money in her project, which is, that's what these people do. They want the government to pay for everything. I get it. But I had a question. Since she was so supportive of this district, is her building in the district? Well, I'm going to go look that kind of stuff up. Look, so I made this map. This is a Google map, and I overlaid the district, and then I inverted it to darken everything that's not in the district. So the red is not in the district. Everything that's regular, normal is in the district. Look, that's the Bottle Arts Lofts right there, and they are in the district. Now, this red right here, that is the Let's Pay Motel, which for whatever reason is not in the district. I don't get it. I don't know why, but she's in the district. So the money they're going to be collecting in this district can go to infrastructure projects. I'm guessing since downtown development says a hotel and a restaurant are infrastructure, why can't lofts be an infrastructure? So instead of the University Avenue Initiative Fund, by way of the general fund, pay for $1.5 million for her project, why don't we just let the Economic Development District that she asked for, why don't we let them pay for it? Just a thought.